Hi everyone, my name's Rob and I created Plan and Shop. I'm just going to show you a quick tutorial on how to get started with the site. So I'm on the main dashboard, and if you have a body coach recipe, you can click here to import your PDF. So I'm just going to select cycle 1, and what the website does is it checks it against a set of approved ingredients so that you're not getting any sort of rogue ingredients appearing on there. And as you can see, it's found 77 recipes from the plan. It also separates out the snacks into the quantities. Now, what I would recommend to do at this stage is type in a tag. So a tag is a way you can organize your recipes. So I'm going to add a cycle 1 tag. Also, when it first comes up, everything is automatically selected. So if you begin to select things like this, you're actually deselecting them to import. I would always recommend start with everything and you can archive recipes later on. So I'm going to save those now. Now your recipes are all loaded up. As you can see, they're all tagged with a cycle 1 tag. They're all automatically separated into the low carb or the high carb meal for your planning, but you may want to add extra tags. So the way you would do that is you click edit tags. You can click and add new tag. So I'm going to add a new tag for breakfast recipes. If I click the color side of the box, I can give this a different color just to make it a little bit easier. And then I'm going to just click through a few breakfast recipes. I'm not going to spend too much time doing this. And now, as you can see, they're tagged with breakfast. So when I come to plan, that will make it a lot easier. If I just go back to home screen now. So you can see my recipes at the top there, but I don't have any meal plans yet. So I'll create one now. Just check the week commencing. If you want to change, the week commencing is automatically on a Monday. If you do want to change the week you start your plans, if you go into account and customize, you'll find that option there. So I've created a new plan, and as you can see, it comes up with all my recipes, and as you can see, my tag for breakfast is there. I also have the low carb, the refuel, and snacks. So if I click low carb, only my low carb recipes will appear there. If I click breakfast, only my breakfast recipes will appear. Now, if I clicked breakfast and refuel, for example, only my breakfast refuel recipes would appear. So tags are really handy. You can add them to everything and it'll make your planning a lot quicker. So I'm going to quickly populate this plan. So bear with. Obviously I need low carb after this. So, and I'm going to finish my day with steak and eggs. Now, you can see that this is highlighted in yellow. So if I just open this, I'll show you why. So this is the recipe and it serves 2. So what the site is actually telling you there is if you just left this plan as is now, the site will automatically reduce this recipe down to 1 portion because the site knows that it is already 2 portions. So if I go on it again, as you can see, for this recipe alone, I need 8 eggs and 4 lots of egg whites. So if I was to go and create this plan now and view my shopping list, if I go to egg whites, you can see I only now need 2 egg whites, 2 whole. That's because the plan has reduced it from serves 2 to serves 1. On my main plan, that yellow is highlighting that recipe is going to automatically adjust However, if I now put 2 lots of the frittata in, you'll see that it's now unhighlighted, and that means that the usual amount of ingredients will be brought into the plan. So that's really important. Don't avoid that or think that you're going to get double the amount of ingredients in your plan if you load that and you know it serves 2. Paused and populated my plan a little bit more to save a bit of time. So it's nearly done. Another feature that you have is that once you've placed an item, you can just drag it to a different spot. So if you change your mind, and if you hold down the Shift button, so I'm going to hold down Shift and then drag, what that actually does is replicate that item. So I'm going to very quickly replicate my dinner to the following lunch. I think that's quite a good tactic if you're prepping wisely, is use a lunch the following of your dinner the following day. You can see here my coconut granola is highlighted because this recipe actually serves 5 in my portion. So I don't want to use coconut granola anywhere else in this recipe, but what I'm tempted to do is batch cook it so that I can use it throughout the course of the next few weeks. So if you're going to batch cook anything and sort of store it or freeze it, then if you use this knife and fork tool here, and I'm going to adjust that to 5 because I know 5 portions is the sort of recommended amount for me, you'll see that the highlight goes off because it matches the number of servings in my recipe. If you just wanted a placeholder for something, so say I already had cooked some curry and it was already in the freezer, I could click this batch cook and press 0, and the 0 means it's going to pull none of those ingredients into a shopping list. So there we go, I've got my plan. I can print the plan, so it'll load it up in quite a nice format just so that you can have on your notice board or on your fridge so you know. And the best bit, I think, and the whole reason I created this site is that you can create your shopping list. So once you've created your shopping list, you can see it's organised into aisles in the supermarket. And it generally, what it tries to do is merge the like-for-like ingredients together. So if I've got 3 eggs in one recipe, 3 eggs in another recipe, as you can see, I've got to buy 15 eggs. And if you click this little text here, it will actually tell you which recipes those are in. So if you're a little bit confused, why do I need 15 eggs? It's telling you how many times you've got them in each of your plans. You might see a couple of things that are similar. So for instance, I've got small onion here and I've got white onion, and that's because it's referred to in the plans as that. But if you, for simplifying your shopping, what you might decide is that you're going to merge these. So I'm going to just drag the small onion to the white onion. And what will happen is a box will come up. Do you want to merge the ingredients? And you can either press merge, which will just do it for this one-off shopping list, or if you press merge and update, what that should do, I've not tested this for a while, but what it should do is go into the white onion recipes and change them to small onions, or go into the small onions and change them to white onions, so you won't have to do that merge again. I'm just going to press merge. Also up here, you'll see with the egg whites and the eggs, it automatically separates egg whites out. Instead of just naming them as eggs, it says egg whites, and that's because you can buy those handy cartons of egg whites. But if you can't find those and you want to merge those, you could merge egg whites into eggs, so you know how many eggs you're getting and so on. This box here, how much, what that actually is how much have you got in your cupboard. So if I know I already have almonds in my cupboard, I can type in, I've already got 30 grams of that, I don't need it. I think if you type in I've got 100 grams of almonds, it's just going to subtract it. Baking powder, yeah, I've got enough of that. If you know you've got enough of something, you can also press the delete button, so you can go through quite quickly and just delete things that you always have in stock. So self-raising flour, I'm just going to press the garbage bin. You'll see here that Greek yogurt is there in grams and Greek yogurt is there obviously in milliliters, so it's not combined. The volume and mass are different. If you wanted to take the risk on that and just combine them, and just add a little bit more on for Greek yogurt, but it's not converted in this case 90 mils of Greek yogurt into grams. But that's about it for the shopping list. And then once you've done that, you can then press view and print, and it will all come up in quite an easy fashion. It also works quite well on a phone. You can copy this to your clipboard if you're going to paste it into a shopping website. A little tip, if you click on a recipe, it will show you, on an ingredient, it will show you which recipe it's used in. It's quite handy if you go in shopping and you're kind of thinking, I don't remember needing jarred sliced jalapenos, but oh, they're in that recipe. And as you go through in your shopping, if you tick them off, they will disappear off your list on your phone, and so on. If you need to see what you've bought already, or if you've accidentally clicked something, you can press show bought ingredients at the top. There are a couple of little advanced features that you may not know about. So if you go to your plan, if you click on the day of the plan, it will actually try and give you the macro breakdown for that. It's not, completely 100%, it's still in beta mode, but it does its best to try and give you a little breakdown of how that day is looking. Now, obviously, I wouldn't advise you to sort of worry about that too much if you have a dedicated plan, because it's all made up for you. But once you kind of get past, your first cycle and you get to sort of graduation phase, you may want to reduce some of these recipes down because they were tailor-made for you when you were 10k heavier. So if you really wanted to do that, and I wouldn't advise doing this straight away, but as you get more used to your plan and as you move forward, you could potentially reduce some of these recipes down. So, for instance, the peanut butter and jam smoothie. So all you do is you click edit ingredient, and you then just use this slider and you can take it down by 10%, 20%, whatever you like. And then once you press save, that's then going to adjust all of those quantities in the recipe. But they're advanced features, and I wouldn't recommend worrying about them too much. So that's about everything for now. Back to the dashboard. If you need any help, just message me on the page, and good luck with your plan.